What's going on, everybody? This is Professor Crypto Banana. So I just want to give some quick updates as to what's happening on the Fantom side, as well as some insight as to how I utilize my DeFi portfolio. I get a lot of yield, and based on what I see on the charts, it actually influences what I decide to do with my yield. Now, this is just my own personal strategy, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to give a quick disclaimer. Hey, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is just for entertainment and educational purposes only. Keep in mind, I'm not a crypto expert. I'm just enjoy sharing what I'm learning. So please, please, please always do your own research, because what I say could be incorrect, invalid, etc. So take a look. All right. But let's take a look at my strategy here. So yes, I draw trend lines, a lot of them, and people typically say, I don't get it, it's confusing, etc. So in this case right here, I'm looking at Fantom, right? And in my mind, I'm seeing, ooh, this is kind of resistance, meaning the price is going to have a hard time trying to get over this line. But once it does, woohoo, okay, I'm happy, risk on, I can use the yields. But in the meantime, I have a big bag in certain coins, and they're getting me yields, like nice. It's like, well, what do I want to do with the yield? Do I want to auto compound? Well, if prices are going down, maybe there's a better way. So what if I sell it for stable coins, and then once, if time keeps on progressing, gets lower and lower, and then it breaks the trend line, then I go, oh, okay, maybe there are certain projects I have my eyes on, take a look at their charts and the trend lines, and then jump in. So this is my personal strategy, and it differs. It can change from day to day. Sometimes it's like, okay, do I still feel like it's bullish, bearish, etc.? But I use this as a guideline for myself. So again, not financial advice, just my strategy. I was actually influenced by Siam kid, probably not pronouncing his name right, my apologies, but here he was talking about, let's say, DAOs. So there were rebasing DAOs such as Ohm forks, etc., where they were just giving out a ton of the tokens, or you get like a bigger portion of the market share as time progressed. However, if the price is dropping, some people are like, but I'm still getting a big portion, I'm still making money. He's like, are you really though? Because if the price is dropping more than the yield that you're getting, you're still losing price. You're still losing, value. So that is something that I really consider, so what if I just sidestep it, meaning don't even participate, take the stable coin and just wait it out. Wait for until the price seems to be behaving better, with the addition of considering the yield that I'm getting as a result. Because even if I'm getting yield and I calculate and I factor that in, I'm still losing money, then why would I want to be in that position? So this is some of my thoughts. I'm just calculating it all. I'm like, hey, if I'm losing 5% a day, but they're like, no, you're getting 1% back every single day. I'm like, dude, I'm still losing 4% here, man. But if I, take that 1%, go to the sideline with that yield, and then wait for the price to behave better on the charts, then I'm like, all right, cool. Now I can actually capitalize and come out ahead. So this is my strategy, just sharing that. So why am I talking about? Well, for example, the hot topic has been lately with solid tokens and also the sex tokens. So we're all adults here, so I'm just gonna say it's the token for SOLIDEX, so it's called the sex token. And right here is a great example. I'm sure that it's probably easy to farm and it has high emissions and there's probably benefits, but at the same time, I'm looking at the trend line right here, and I personally am deciding not to get in or do anything until it gets above there. So maybe I just farm for it. Would I actually put my own money in to get into a token that I could get for free? I'm not sure. Not sure, but again, just looking at the chart, I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a step back, take my time. So you get the idea. Taking a look at, let's see here. Man, there's so many good tweets. But Popstar, I'll leave a link in the description on his Twitter page. He was dropping some good stuff here. One of them I already saw. There seems to be some competition going between Anjay he's more of like the developer of Solidly, of Fantom, etc. He's done a lot of great stuff. Likewise, Justin Bebis, he is known for developing Reaper Farm, the Oath token, etc. Kind of like a well-established, highly reputable developer on the Fantom ecosystem side as well. And they seem to maybe have a competition butting heads. Not sure. Have to do more research on that. But Bebis came out with the Oath token for Reaper Farm, or Byte Masons, I should say, came out for the token of Oath. And I'm not sure how, but somehow there was votes maybe to get solid token emissions, and it appears as if on Reaper Farm they're doing the auto compounding for that. Okay, so you may be saying, Professor, what's the big deal of this? What's the main takeaway? The main takeaway is you got Bebis with the Byte Masons token, OATH, out there in an auto compounder that is gaining solid, most likely gaining solid tokens or whatever type of reward tokens, and instantly selling it in order to repurchase the LP tokens of OATH and Fantom. So it's kind of like taking the liquidity from solid and putting it over to the OATH and Fantom tokens. I'm like, oh my goodness. But it's kind of nice when it comes down to the APR. So he's saying right here, no treasury farming means. So in essence, maybe because Reaper Farm is not in a position or trying to collect a lot of these solid and sex tokens that it can give back to the OATH token holders and, you know, Fantom for the LP holders, I should say, and doing the auto compounding as a result. So very interesting. Okay, this is more of a funny one. Funny tweet that came from Gold Main. So he pointed out that there was somebody out there on Solid that collected a ton of Solid, locked it up, now has voting power, and they collected so much, roughly, I don't even know, 5%, created their own token, their own pairing, probably Batman and Spider for Spider-Man, 2 tokens, and said, okay, these are the 2 tokens, this is the LP pair, boom, and now I created my own token pair, and I'm going to use my 5% vote to say, if you provide liquidity for these 2 tokens, you get rewards, hey. So now everybody on the outside may be thinking, how do I get these Batman and Spider-Man tokens? You don't, because he created, or they created it themselves. You can't get it. So if you were to try to go on Spooky Swap, whatever, you need to have Spider-Man tokens to get to the Batman tokens. And likewise, if you have Batman tokens, you need to get to the Spider-Man tokens. But if you don't have either, you can't get it. And he created both for himself, or they created both for themselves. So therefore, all those emissions go straight back to that person. So it's a very clever, kind of funny way of what's happened here. I don't know the full story, but check out this tweet. This one made me laugh. I did see it out there too. I was thinking, what the heck is this Batman Spider going on right here? Person voted for themselves. And you can even see it here in SOLIDEX as well. So it makes me laugh. Circling back to Popstar, he also had a great tweet about the sex token. So SOLIDEX is more of the farming side from how I understand, and you can lock up the sex token in order to vote to boost up the rewards on certain farms. Okay, let me reread this. Voting power is used to determine which pools receive more solid inflation for the week, so to boost it. And I guess according to him, he's saying this Sex has been beaten down. He's thinking that this token could be a hidden gem because projects will need it or maybe trying to acquire it to boost up their rewards. Thinking out loud here, it has to come down, in my opinion, down to the bugs. Because as you can already tell, in yesterday's video, I was trying to withdraw my funds, couldn't do it. In fact, I think even today I still can't do it with Zap withdrawing my LP tokens. I'm sure if I use the contract and really dug in deep and put in the time, I could withdraw Strat for time right now. But if there's a lot of bugs and people are farming the token, not holding on to it, I think that's an issue. I don't think a lot of projects are going to come in with cash or whatever funds in order to acquire the sex token and lock it up to boost it. At least not yet. So I have to wait and see. But as of right now, again, looking at the chart, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm primarily looking at this because sometimes I don't have all the answers. But looking at the chart can tell me. And it doesn't seem, as of yet, for me, it's a good time. Granted, not financial advice. Everything in this video is not financial advice. Just talking about myself, my strategies, what I'm doing. So, I think it's interesting, though, maybe to take a look at it, watch it, etc. Let's see what else we got here. So yes, we talked already about Reaper Farm doing the auto compounding with the OATH token, because yes, you put in the OATH and the Fantom as an LP pair, puts out on SOLIDEX, gets probably solid and sex rewards, sells it off, reinvests that back into the OATH and Fantom LP. So the liquidity and the rewards from SOLIDEX go straight to the OATH and Fantom for the most part. I'm sure there's a little bit of fees, etc., but you get 2% per day, which is kind of crazy. You know what? Let's take a quick look. I want to see the price action that's happening on OATH. Holding steady. So as mentioned, would I necessarily want to put funds into a token that's giving me 2% per day, but it's dropping 5% per day? I would not enjoy that personally. However, taking a look right here, it's been holding steady above 50 cents, more or less. I mean, it had some volatility, don't get me wrong. This may not look like a lot on the charts, but 15% bouncing back and forth, something to even higher over here. But still, nevertheless, seems to be holding some support despite the fact that Fantom is dropping. Seems to be a support line right here, so different plays that can be made. All right, give me just a second here. Let me check my notes, make sure that I got everything. Okay, one last thing I would want to point out is we just talked about the SEX token, but a lot of these tokens with high emissions reminds me of tomb forks, essentially. They emit a ton and then this crazy price action, but then there comes a point where it bottoms out and then it comes the true test. All right, is this going to take off or is it going to just lay low? So that is something that I'm going to be watching out for as well. All right, let's see what we're doing on time. I do not even know. Hold up. Ooh, 12 minutes. I think we're good here. I'm going to put this back on me. So overall, concludey time. Yeah, markets looks kind of going down a little bit. Makes sense. There was a major pump. I'm going to be looking at the charts to help me determine whether to sell off my yield rewards or to put it into different projects. Do I want to put it in blue chip projects or do I want to put it into like real DEGEN high yield? Not sure, but we'll find out. In addition, keep in mind everything is time sensitive, so my strategies change on the fly like that. I could be looking at something saying like, ooh, this is really good, and then all of a sudden be like, no, I want nothing to do with it. Moving on. Oh, actually, I wanted to share one last thing. Okay. So I know that Taiki actually gave a video out here talking about the bearish case for Solidly and SOLIDEX 0xDAO. I haven't watched this yet, but I do want to watch it. I'll probably crank this bad boy up to 2 speed because you can do playback speed, do 1.752. I trained myself because, again, when we're talking about time, it could be 32-minute video. However, if you are able to crank it down to 17 minutes, it makes it more manageable, right? So a lot of people are talking about Solidly, SOLIDEX, so I'm going to get his input, his concepts, see what that's all about. And yeah, I dropped down a lot of topics here. I'm also going to be looking in the future into different projects on different chains. So Fantom is my home base. However, in the future, I'm going to be probably looking and talking a little bit more about Cosmos, because I know Drake on Digital, he's big on that. He's done plenty of videos talking about that and the airdrops. So JUNO, perhaps taking a look at stars, osmosis. Ooh, so much good stuff. On Twitter, I'm seeing some things about METIS and the high yields going on there. I want to take a look if I'm too late or is there still a lot of potential there? And always keeping my eyes out for other projects and chains in general. That's all I got for you. Pieces.